Higher Self Message, November 25, 2016. The Dark Ones and their cohorts are proposing to put into action one last major attempt to regain lost ground, by faking an extraterrestrial attack upon you. It would be very realistic, and you would perceive spacecraft and beings that looked exactly like those you are familiar with. Some craft would only be holograms and look quite normal. You are therefore warned of their intentions so that fear can be lessened or prevented as far as possible. Creating fear is the objective of such an event, and it is, as you would term it, their last throw of the dice, and could easily fool those who are unready or ill-informed. If it ever comes to be a reality, those of you in the know can be invaluable to humanity by helping prevent mass hysteria. Be assured, however, that no actions will be allowed to get out of hand, and the forces of light are standing by, but for karmic reasons they cannot directly interfere in such events to prevent them from happening. It will be the only time that you should have to confront such a situation. It would be a great wake-up call for those who have unknowingly given up their freedom, and allowed the Dark Ones a free hand to carry out their plan for world domination. In the long term, events will progress as you have previously been advised, so keep in mind that the light will always be victorious over the Dark Ones. Even at this time they are being removed and placed where they can no longer cause great harm to you. The war between the dark and the light for control of the earth is destined to soon be brought to a conclusion. The outcome has always been predictable, even if momentarily the Dark Ones seem to be in the ascendancy. However, matters cannot be taken for granted, and it needs those of the light to focus on the right outcome. You have many helpers around you in addition to your guides, so although you may be unaware of their presence, they know much about you, and will ensure you follow your life plan. In your moments of meditation or prayer, they can come close to you and plant ideas in your mind. Much of your work is carried out in your out-of-the-body activities when you are asleep. You may recall some of your experiences, but usually you cannot bring the details to mind. You may, for example, meet with other beings of light and arrange aspects of your work in advance. It may seem at times that you are fighting a lone battle, but be assured that is far from the truth. You are a part of history that will often be looked upon as a major turning point in the progress of humanity on its path back to the light. The grand experiment commenced eons of time ago, and you will almost certainly have had many, many lives upon Earth. In view of ascension that is to take place in most of your lifetimes, many other souls follow your progress, so that your experiences can be used for the benefit of others who will follow. It may not seem that you are all great souls, because your waking consciousness is limited to your experiences upon Earth. You have little or no memory of your true selves, and this is deliberately arranged so that you can fully concentrate on your evolution. It would otherwise be easy for you to be distracted from your life plan. Nothing that has any bearing on your life happens by chance, so be assured that although you have free will, you will always feel prompted to follow the evolutionary path you planned prior to incarnating. Even events that you would have preferred not to have experienced are all part of your life plan, as you will find out when you return to the higher dimensions and review your life upon Earth. Normally you would be attracted to people whose energy is very similar to yours, but when it is intended for karmic reasons that you meet a soul who is to play a part in your life, that one may have quite different vibrations to yours. This often happens when couples are brought together when there seems to be an inescapable energy involved in their attraction to each other. Even if you make a mistake in this connection, and a relationship is not intended to be, the link will not last very long, yet no experience whatever the nature of it is without its benefit to your life. You should know that not every situation is as it seems, as sometimes they are used to help create something different. For example, the victory of Trump was to prevent Hillary Clinton from winning even though the voting was meant to be rigged in her favor. Trump is therefore expected to resign very soon, and Paul Ryan, who is the acting Republican president, will stand as the interim president until new elections can take place, and it is quite likely that he will then go on to become the president-elect. This should convince you that you are not fighting a lone battle against the Dark Ones. So regardless of what happens, know that the outcome will ensure that the light will be the winner. A key factor in the events that are taking place are the needs of Mother Earth, who must be ready for ascension, as there is no question of the changes being put off or delayed. On the cosmic scale, certain events must occur at a precise time, and so to say, Mother Earth will force the issue if need be. You should now be able to understand why with certainty ascension will take place. You should by now have sufficient information to understand what lies ahead, although the exact time scale is difficult to predict. You will feel much more at ease once the Dark Ones are no longer able to interfere with your evolution. It will allow so much that has been held back to go ahead without delay. In spite of the general impression of what is taking place on Earth, all is in fact progressing well. There is no need to hold any doubt in your mind, and know that all of the higher forces will ensure that coming events have as little problems as possible. However, it is understandable that Mother Earth will shake a few areas as she also prepares for ascension. Some major changes are inevitable and indeed necessary to bring the new Earth into being. Your journey has been long and challenging, but you will have learned much that will make you of immense value to those who follow on after you. Keep your eyes on the path ahead, and know that regardless of what you perceive, all is well. It is not just the coming end of your experiences, but also many who have followed you with great interest. You have been successful where others have failed, and deserve every accolade that comes your way. However, there is no disgrace entailed in having to experience further in the lower dimensions, and you will in fact be all the stronger for it. Some of you will volunteer to return to the third dimension to help others through their next series of experiences. You will find that as you rise up through the vibrations, service to others is the goal of many souls. I leave you with love and blessings, and may the light brighten your days and path to completion. This message comes through my higher self. In love and light. Mike Quincy. treeofthegoldenlight.com